Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie room. Now today we are literally just going to have a little walk around the room. It won't take us long, will it? It's only a small room. No, we're just going to have a little look and a little check up on some of the bits and pieces that we got in here. And as you'd remember in the last video, we were talking about trying to keep on top of everything. So we're sort of like there now. We're finally getting it all back together and getting it all in the right places. So we're just going to have a little look and see what's what, feed the roaches, and check out some of the spiders, some of the new bits that we've had come in, so we can have a little look at those as well. Right, where should we start? Well, I'll tell you what, we'll have a little look at the mossy frogs, because they're we got them down here. Now you remember when we redone this enclosure here, the plants actually seem to be doing all right. They're not doing too bad at all. So they're actually showing a little bit of life. And these guys are breeding as well. So we're getting a bit of action from them as well. And we've got some babies here. We can actually have a look down in here. You can see them guys there. These two are fairly fresh out of the water actually. They're probably about a month old.
We've got a really fresh one down here.
Yeah, we've got a little tiny one here. So these guys are actually breeding now. We can't really see, but they lay their eggs underneath. They fix them underneath these logs, so they go underneath here. And then the eggs are suspended then. And then what they do is every night, the frogs, the adults, they come up and they shed water over the eggs to keep them hydrated. And they do that each night. So they sit in the daytime and they sort of dry out a little bit, but they don't go completely dry because obviously they're encased in a special membrane. And that keeps them nice and moist. And then as the tadpole develops, eventually they kick themselves free and they land straight in the water. So these plants are doing okay and they're keeping our frogs nice and happy. We can actually give it a bit of a spray while we're here. Might as well. So we'll...
Nicking my job.
Yeah, this is camera lady's job normally. But just get a bit of pressure in the sprayer. That's better.
What's your light, Dave?
Yeah, try not to get any on your lights. The light that we have on here, this is a Jungle Dawn. They're very good lights. A little bit expensive, but they are really good. So we'll just give everyone a nice spray, give everything a good soaking.
See how well camouflaged he is.
Yeah, they're so cool. So we're really happy now that these guys are actually finally starting to breed again, because they did go off the boil a little bit. And we've now got them settled back down to how they used to be. And they're really starting to look really good now. Alright, that will do them. Now what we're doing with these guys as well is we're feeding these crickets, which in itself is a bit of a nuisance because we get all the little flies and things in the room, and you'll notice we have fly papers up to combat that. Hopefully when we get our new room sorted out, all of our live food will be kept outside, so it won't be kept in the actual spider room, and that should in theory stop much of the flies that we get inside the room. So we've also got some other bits and pieces. This is our Panama that was up in, we rehoused recently. That's doing really well up there. We got our what did we have in here? My labels come off. My elegans. The elegans are in there, and we got a male cohabiting with her as well. When we done the video, a lovely lady over in Ireland donated her male elegans, so he is in there at this very moment. He's set up home in the back, so hopefully they would have got it on. Yeah, they tend to hide away a little bit, come out in the night time more. We've also got our Histocratis laticeps. Now this girl has been paired once. Oh, she's disappearing now. She's going down a hole. I don't think you're going to get to see her. She's literally dived down in there. You can maybe see her through the plastic. But she's been paired once, but we do need to pair her again. And also our other H. gigas as well. That needs to be done again as well. So we have been taking a bit of a back seat with the breeding, purely because it's rather awkward in here, and we're running very short on time. So we sort of like, our time is better spent doing other things. We've got some nice. These are a mouthful. These are the Pislotheria tignoracelli. These are a really, really lovely spider. We can see that one down in there.
Light's not amazing, but
we can see if we can get a bit better light. There we go.
That's better. Shows her pretty up.
Yeah, so these are really, really nice, and we've got I think four of these guys. But I'm really looking forward to getting these all moved back over into their glass enclosures, because these boxes are actually proving to work really well in terms of maintaining them, and that they've been worked out really nicely in that respect. But we've not given them a fair trial on the breeding yet, so it's a bit early to decide what's going to happen there. Here we got, this is, well, she's not going to hang about. This is our Ornata. Now this is probably our biggest pokey. She is huge, really, really big.
We've got to see her now you've said that.
Yeah, she's absolutely a monster, to be fair. And we will try. Got to be careful, because these guys are super, super fast. And she is an absolute beast. Look at that. Very, very big spider. Now you'd have remembered in the old place, we actually kept her in a 30 by 30 by 45 exo. So once we get our room, she will be going back into an equivalent sized enclosure. And
Can you get her to open?
Not really, no.
Okay, I was only asking.
Yeah. She's actually had a munch on a roach there.
Oh.
That roach needs to come out. That's what them flies are on, is that roach. So we will get our tweezers and we will see whether we can get that without losing her. So for some reason she's obviously killed it, but decided not to eat it. Maybe it was a little bit too big for her. Maybe a little intimidated her a little bit. But there you go. Look, she's opening up now.
Get the light again.
Yes, boss. Very demanding today. Here we go. Look at that.
So pretty.
Yeah, very, very nice. Now the Ornata is arguably the biggest, along with the Ruffalata. The two of them are really, really fighting for the top spot in terms of size. And this girl here, she is clocking on for, must be getting on for 8 to maybe 9 inches. So she really is a big spider. And as you can see, she is relatively placid and calm. You can hear our mossy frogs calling now. This is because we've sprayed them. So they're getting all fruity again now. Right, that's that one. Let's have a little look at that. What else we got here? We've got a few bits and pieces over here that we've not seen for a little while. These are our verses. Now, this one hasn't been paired yet, but we do have a male. Let's get him over here. We do have a male. There we go. There she is. Might be better if I can try and lift the piece of wood out. There we go. Look at that.
That's better.
There we go. So this is one of our adult verses, and they're doing really well in these boxes. They seem to be quite happy. You can see that colouring. They've got a lovely deep, almost sort of a crimson red. It's beautiful. Really, really nice when the light catches it. Now, we've not bred these now for about a year. So, well, since we moved, really, that was the last time we bred them. So we need to get on and do them again. See, look, now I took that bit of wood out there. Am I going to get the lid back on? Always the thing. All right. I think we can. That's all right. Right. So that's those. And we've also got now. You can see now our Saleys. These are the Tiger Wandering Spider. We can see there.
Oh, that's just reflecting base.
Is that not good? So we need to I'll turn that around. These guys are ready now to be rehoused. So we will be putting these in the small Braplast boxes and letting them grow up in them. It's a bit difficult to see, aren't they? The
Yeah.
So what we done was we ended up with we had 60 odd of these. There's a big one up there actually. We had 60 odd of them, and we're down now. You see that's a nice big female by the look of it.
Back up again. Up on the wall. That's it.
That's a nice big female. Now I think we've only got about half a dozen of these left. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to hang on to the ones that we've got, and we're going to grow them on, and then see if we can't breed them at a later date. These really are a phenomenal spider, especially when they're full grown. The females are very, very pretty, really nice spiders. So we can hopefully we'll get to do a little bit with those in the future. If we come over here, we can see here, this is the Balfouri communal, and you can see now how it's all settled in from when we done the video where camera lady moved them all over and we redone it, and we just put a set few individuals in here. Now we've got no male in there, so all the spiders that are in there are all adult females, and they're doing really, really well. They've set up home nicely now, and it did take them for maybe around about maybe 3-4 weeks before they started webbing intensively, and then they sort of got going, and then they have a rest. And most of what they've actually got going on here is subterranean, so we can't see a lot of it, but they've done really, really well. You'll also notice that there's a little bit of humidity in this soil. It's not bone dry, so we keep it just a little bit of humidity in there, and that seems to set them off nicely. They do very, very well. Another real good webber is up here. This is our female Phalax, and you can see now she's webbed everything. And interestingly enough, we very rarely ever see her down where this water bowl is. Very, very rare. They built this like almost like a trampoline of web, and this is where they spend all of their time. And if we put a cricket on the web, she will normally come out of that hole at the back, and if you come around the side here, you can see there's an absolutely perfect hole there.
Will she come today?
Probably not, because she was fed a little while ago. We can zoom in on that hole, and you can see there it's absolutely perfect. So that's a very, very cool thing. We have got a male that we're just waiting to mature. Once he's matured, then we will give them a go, see what we can do. Now another interesting one in terms of webbing is this one here. Now this is our Ornitholoxinae species Nendep. And
She's funny.
she is what we class as a semi-fossorial, or some people would say more of a fossorial spider. But she has set up home behind this bit of plant, and that is where she lives. Now, she has dug out a burrow in the back, but very rarely ever uses it.
From day one, isn't it?
Yeah, she literally always sits there. So for whatever reason, she is happy there in amongst that plant. That's a live plant in there. And yeah, she's obviously feeling very confident and feels happy sat there. She's never given us any trouble. The big problem we're having with this girl is actually finding a male. So if anyone has a Nendep male, I would very much be interested in it. She is ready to go. So yeah, fingers crossed we can find a male, but we have not had any luck locating a male at all. So if anyone's got one, throw us a message, let us know. This is our male Versi. You can see him sitting there. He's ready to go as well. He's made a sperm web. Now this is a spider that came in a collection that we had, and as many of them do. There we go, look at that. He's a handsome looking fella.
You're not getting him lit up for me. No, still a bit. You can get better than that.
Go down.
You get better.
Well, that's the light that it is. That's as bright as we're going to go.
But he's so pretty.
I do sometimes wonder. So yeah, so many of the spiders that we have come through come in collections, and we keep back the bits that are of interest or useful for us, and then we go from there really, and we see what we can do. Right, what else we got going on up here? We have you can have a look now. You can see our emperor scorpions are growing phenomenally. Here we go. There's one of them. They're growing really, really well. These guys do put on some size really quick, and they are good feeders. There he goes. Look at that. Fantastic animals. Really, really nice. Where's me? And as you can see, he's quite brown actually, so I would suggest that this one is coming up for a molt. Won't be too long. Now these guys do like it nice and damp, and they do like the warmth as well. So he's doing really, really well. Now you also, this will be an interesting one actually, to show you a difference in sizes. That's the medium-sized one. Now you would have remembered the one that lost its claw when it was a tiny baby. Here it is now. Now this guy, we always feed this one by hand. There he goes, look at that. So that claw has never grown back. So you can imagine in the wild that this scorpion would be at a disadvantage for definite. It's never ever grown back. And it was an interesting thing because we had many people asked us, you know, will it grow back? And I wasn't sure. I really didn't know. But there's your answer. No, it doesn't. So it's going to be an interesting thing now to find out whether this particular scorpion will be of any use when it comes to breeding, because they actually, both the males and the females, they use their claws to hold on to one another to breed. So as you may well know, the males deposit a sperm sac on the ground, and then what he does is he drags the female over it, and then she picks it up. Now, so obviously they need their claws to be able to pull, push and pull all the time. So it's a really, really interesting thing. If you want to see some really good breeding stuff, look up Tim Baxter, and he has got some really, really cool little short videos of the scorpions that he's pairing, and you'll see that pushing backwards and forwards that we're talking about. It's really, really interesting stuff. Very, very cool. Now we've got the other one here. This I think is the larger one. So we can have a look at this. Yeah, there he is. So you can see there, that's just sitting under there, nice and happy. Lovely, lovely scorpions, these. You can also see there's a little bit of mould on the bark. You see that there? That little bit of mould by my finger there. We can rub that off. It causes no harm to them whatsoever. So we don't worry about it. There's a little bit in the moss there as well. We don't worry about it. It's not going to be an issue. It won't cause our scorpions any problems at all. What else we got hiding away down there? We have stuff absolutely everywhere, all over the place. We'll just pop them under there. Now we've also got some young robustums. So these are going to go in. These again, these ones came. We've got 3 of these youngsters like this, and they came in a collection. There you go. Terrible hair kickers, robustums. There we go. Look at that. If I can get a bit of light on that, because they are so pretty, these guys. Look at that.
Get your torch up.
Very pretty spiders, but they do like to kick hairs, and they like it really moist. So the damper the substrate, the better these guys seem to do. They don't like being dried out in any way. So originally we were going to move them out and put them into different boxes, but they seem to do really well in these. So we've left them to it. If it works, don't change it. That's the motto. That is the motto of the story. Now then, what else we got going on? We've got some very, very interesting little projects coming up, and one of them is the Sabar Red. We have a number of Sabar Red slings. Unfortunately, I don't think you're really going to get to see them, because when they're slings, they burrow down and disappear, and we don't actually really get to see them. But you'll have to take my word for it. We have got a few. So they are going to be a future project, which will be something really I'm really excited about those. As an adult, the Sabar Red is a stunning looking spider. Very, very nice. We've also got some Valhalla as well. There's one there. Don't know. You might just pick that out on the box. Can you see that? Now that one there is about an inch and a half.
Get more of it. That's it.
About an inch and a half maybe. So that's the largest one, I think. And then we've got some others which are a little bit smaller. If you look up here, you can see that one there. Can you see that one in the side of the box there? That's another one. You see them there. So these are our Valhallas. So they've all got a little bit of growing to do, but they will be very, very exciting when we get to put them in their glass enclosures. And they're not going to be any old glass enclosure. We've got some really exciting enclosures which we're designing at the moment, and we're hoping to have them in the new room. So might not be straight away, but they are coming. So that's going to be a really, really cool thing. What else we got going on here? We've got some Rasties over here. These are ones that we've held on to. We've also got, I can never say this word, Shoedi or something. I can never say it. It's such a nightmare word. But we have a couple of them, and we do actually have some adults as well. So they will be something that we'll be checking out later on. All of these things that we can see down in these boxes here, these are all going to be going over and going into proper glass enclosures, the vast majority of them. Some will stay in tubs, but they will be upgraded to bigger tubs. Now this is a very, very nice spider, and one that we don't see very often. This one came from a good friend of ours, Brian Hamer, and it is a male, so we are going to be on the lookout for a female. I'll put it down here, and hopefully you will get a good look, because this is a very, very pretty spider. Look at that. What a stunner. That is very, very nice. Look at that. Look at the colouring. Got a gold carapace. Got them bluish legs and that red bottom. Absolutely beautiful. Now this is the Mexican blue femur, or the Bonatina minax. And that is an absolutely beautiful spider.
And your pronunciation was beautiful too.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah. So hopefully we're hoping to try and locate a female now, because this one hasn't matured out yet. So it's got a little bit of time, and maybe we can get a female, and that could be a future little breeding project, which would be really, really something special. What have we got over here? Now, some of these are really cool. What else we got? We've got our Victorias over here as well. Now we've also got, this is an interesting one. Inside here is our Sapphire. The Sapphire Pinktoe. Now she was paired back in February, and she sealed herself in here, but there's no sign of an egg sac, which is a little bit worrying, because it probably means she's probably going to molt out, which is a little unfortunate. But normally once they seal up like this, it's normally going to be an egg sac on its way. But she's been in here now for 4, maybe 5 weeks, and yeah, not done anything. So once again, it looks like we might have failed with that particular one. This is an interesting thing actually. When we talk about breeding, you know, it's good we get to see our successes, and with all the different species that we do, and it's really, really exciting. But we mustn't forget the failures, because many of these spiders that are here now have been paired up, and you can see on the thing there, we always write on there when they were paired and what have you, whether they've been paired twice or just the once. Like this one in here, this is a fasciata female. She has been paired twice. And then we got our Bronchiorni females. Got 2 of them here. They've not been paired because we haven't got a male, so nothing's happened with those. So just a quick check on this on the labels gives us an idea of what's going on, who's done what. But yeah, it's important to actually remember that it doesn't always go to plan. You know, sometimes we pair them, everything looks absolutely fantastic, and then obviously they molt out, or they just do not produce. So we need to try and find what the triggers are to get them to produce a sac. And sometimes when you think you understand them, and you think you found the trigger, you do it again the next year and it doesn't work. So there's an awful lot that goes on with breeding our spiders that we just do not understand. And also as well, sometimes it's all about just trying to get them in the right frame of mind. We can have a look at these spiders here. We've done a couple of Machalas that we're waiting for. We got this one here. Now this is our Meridionolus. You would have remembered we paired her up. There she is. She's looking absolutely beautiful. Now we paired her, and she looked like she was about to produce a sac, and then she went and molted out. So she's looking in stunning condition again now. So hopefully we can find another male and we'll give it another go. This is one of them spiders where we can pair them and just leave them to it. They're not bad in that respect. But unfortunately, she molted out. So as you know, when we're breeding our spiders, once they molt out, that's the end of that. And then we've got this one here. Now this is a bit of a sore subject, this one. This girl here, keep an eye on her. She can be a little bit jumpy. There she is. Look at that. This is the Red Island bird eater. Are we doing this on? I do sometimes wonder. This is the Red Island bird eater. So the Formictopus astrochromatus. Now, we took a long time to get this girl to actually molt out. And then, by pure fluke, we had a male, which we didn't even realise was a male. And he matured out. And then it didn't matter how many times I tried to put them together, she just wanted to kill him. And we never did get a successful pairing. And unfortunately, he eventually passed through natural causes. And we never got to do them. So we're going to hold on to her. And then hopefully next year, we will be better equipped and in a better position. And we can try them again. But we conditioned her the same as we've conditioned the other spiders. And for whatever reason, all she wanted to do was eat them. She was just in a bad mood every time we introduced him. So we don't know why. So that's another little thing that we can keep pushing forward, trying to find out what the clues are, what's going on, and then hopefully we'll be a little bit more successful in the future. Right, what else we got going on? Now, when we're talking about successes, one of the successes that we've had that's been absolutely phenomenal is, in fact, our emerald roaches. Come and have a look in here. These guys are now breeding like the proverbial rabbits. They really are flying along. Now we've got a bit of food for them because, as you can see, their food's run out. They're actually eating us out of house and home. Now these are one of the few roaches that actually eat bee pollen. So we give them this bee pollen. This is a made up bee pollen. And to be fair, I've had this pack here, must be getting on for like a year, because this is the very first pack that I bought when I very first got these guys. And as you can see, these are all up here now. These are females. Where's my thing? These are all females here.
Just getting the reflection of the torch.
So they're females. And then these ones here, these are males. That's a male.
Everything close.
Now, this is where it gets confusing, because these guys are absolute escape artists. Let's pull one out so we can have a look. There we go, look at that. Aren't they just wonderful? So that's a female there. You can see them like sucker-like feet on them. And these guys can literally stick to anything. They're very cool.
Keep the light still and I'll see if I can get their feet.
See them feet? It's like he's wearing little boots. But they've got like little suction pads on their feet. And when you hold them, you can actually feel them almost like sort of sticky on your hand. But they are very pretty. Now, we've had many people say about not having much in the way of success with them. And some of this, I think, is literally down to the fact that you're being a little bit impatient. It took around about 12 months to get these guys established. So it's a long time, especially when you consider the other roaches that we keep for food and what have you. They tend to get established really, really quick. You can see them all over the stuff. So all we do is we just flick them off. Yeah, like flick off, get off. And then we put a new piece in. This is what we feed them. This is apple. And then we also give them bee pollen. I might get in your way for a minute. They tend to sit underneath this bowl. Look at them all. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
This is all the babies. So we just put that back down there. This is where you wonder why the pollen tub ends up walking around. It's because they're all underneath it. So we've gone a little bit over the top there. We've given them a little bit too much. And then they will mop that up in no time. They absolutely love it. Funny enough, when we very first got them, the bee pollen, they didn't touch it for months. And I was quite concerned as to whether they were ever going to eat it. And it wasn't until their numbers suddenly kicked off and they become really, really prolific and established that they started eating the bee pollen. And now they chomp through it like there's no tomorrow. They also get fish flakes there as well. So we give them that. And then if we want a little bit of activity, what we do is we spray down inside. We don't soak everything, but down underneath this bit of stuff here, we get in there and we spray that. They've also got a big cork tube here, so we spray inside there as well.
Oh, I'm sorry.
They don't tend to go inside the cork tube for some reason. Whenever we look in there doesn't always seem to be many. You get one or two, but not a lot. So we spray that and we spray the back. Now what this will do, this will throw the humidity right up, and these guys will get super, super active.
Hey, he's come out to say hello.
Yep, doing a runner. They are cheeky. If you're going to keep these, it's very important that you keep them in a completely escape-proof enclosure, because they will get out. They won't cause any problem in your house, but to be fair, they're too expensive to have free roaming all over the place. So there you go. There's our emerald roaches. Very, very, very pleased with them. You can remember our toad up here? She sits out now. Do you remember when we very first showed her? She was very shy, hidden away all the time. She's actually now settled down and she's doing her thing. And as you can see there, we're literally walking around, we're moving about, and she's perfectly happy.
She used to be very, very upset.
Yeah, she was a very, very shy individual, but she is a whole lot better now. Much, much better. Right, we have a molt up here. This is one of the things, actually, this gets people out. This is from one of our GBB females. We keep our molts, and we end up with loads of them all over the place. And quite often or not, we will we'll pick them out and set them up on the benches and up on the shelves. And they do catch people out. People think we've got one free roaming. Very, very cool. And looking at molts, how about this? We have got... This is one reason why you don't handle your spiders. Now here, these These are the fangs off of our cayenne kraken. Look at the size of that. I get that.
Put my little finger there.
Yeah. That is the fang from our female cayenne kraken that we bred. And that gives you an idea of just the sheer size of these fangs. And this is a very good reason as to why we don't handle our spiders.
They're big.
Because that buried in your hand is going to cause you no end of pain. Not to mention the venom that will be delivered as well. Just that sticking in your hand without the venom would be enough to seriously upset your day. Very, very nasty thing, you know. It's going to really hurt, and this is one of the reasons why we don't promote handling. If something comes out and walks on your hand, then that's a different matter. You know, we can deal with that. Quite often when we're moving our males and bits and pieces around when we're breeding, they end up disappearing. Sometimes we've had them jump up from the enclosures onto us, but you can deal with them without having to physically hold them. So always be very careful. And if you do have one get out on you, what we quite often do is we use a catch cup. So if it was here, we would use a catch cup and put it on it, but be very gentle, because quite often or not, if a spider feels threatened, it will hunker down and bite, and it will bite straight through your t-shirt or whatever. So be very careful. And even the ones that, things like our curly hairs, our Samanis that are in here, she's doing really well. They have got huge fangs. Don't ever be pulled into that false sense of security where you sort of sit and think, well, it's a friendly spider, it's a beginner spider. They still have big fangs and they're very capable of using them. So just be wary. Be very careful. Right. Well, it's time we ended up and got on and done a bit of work. So we're going to leave it there for now. You've seen some of the new projects that we got in the pipeline. These are all things that are going to happen when we get our new room, which isn't very far away now. I know I say it every time, but we're getting weeks. Every week is a week closer. So we're looking good. Right then. Well, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And we will see you soon, guys.